Matt and he's already baptized you, and we're watching the live feed. Just got done. Hey, as soon as the game's over,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, hey, get ready to have a great morning, and then just roll right into the bumper.
Yeah.
Because I always feel weird, like, hey, check out this video, but it's like the same thing.
So you're gonna say what?
So after the game's over, like, guys, have a great morning. Let's just get ready to have a great morning today, and then we'll go right.
Can I cut you off mid-sentence?
Yep. Hey, you got anything? You got a mic? Chill. Good morning, everybody. Look at all of these people. It's good to see all of you here this morning. Everybody's alive or awake. We're good to go. All right? Yeah. All right. Some of you, hey, I need to announce something, but let me look something up real quick. So, hold on. I'm looking something up here real quick. I messed something up, but I at least want to make it very aware because all of our new sixth graders have joined us, and we just had one of our sixth graders, Cooper, was baptized this morning at the 10:30 service, and so he is up there right now, and we were supposed to have all of us up there, and I noticed right at like 10:32 that we were supposed to be up there for baptism, and I messed up. So I don't know if Cooper will be down here. Yeah, that's what Andrew and I were just doing. We were checking the live feed real quick, and he was just going through it. So we messed up, but if Cooper, I don't know if he'll be down here at all, but if he does walk down here, I just want us, whatever we're doing, we're going to pause, and we're just going to stand up and cheer for him, okay? But not like freak him out, like yell at him, but just like, good job, because I feel awful. We should have all been up there, especially with like this crowd, but we were like, we can't just go running down the halls. Like, look at the amount of people here. We'll freak everybody out. So we'll make sure we cheer for Cooper if he does join us this morning, and if not, we'll celebrate him next Sunday. So that is always a very cool thing. Only a couple things we need to make sure we announce is, first of all, if you are going to camp, you will meet us up at the front of the main worship center, you know, at the big awning drive-through area up there. That's where we'll meet. At 10 o'clock, there will be check-ins. So when you get here, keep all of your stuff with you unless a leader tells you where to go with your stuff first, and then you will check in on an actual little check-in station where a leader needs to make sure you are here. They'll check you off, and then you can hang out with your friends before we load up our buses. There will be a mid-school bus and a high school bus. However, where we make it confusing is one of the buses will be all of our girls' luggage, and the other bus will be all of our guys' luggage. But it's a mid-school and a high school bus, not a guy and girl bus. But we do that just so we can drop off all the luggage in one area and all the luggage in the other area. So when you show up here tomorrow morning, we'll make sure you know what you're doing, but don't just get out and go run to all your friends and hang out, because then we will be waiting for you because we won't have you checked off on the sheet. So make sure you do that tomorrow morning. Because we are at camp, there is nothing going on this Wednesday night because most of us will be out and away. However, the week after that, Will, if you can pop up that green picture of what's coming up after that. After camp, we will be doing, for 2 different weeks, we'll be doing some pool party stuff. So the first Wednesday after, mid-school, we will have service for everybody. Mid-school, you will go home at 7:30 the Wednesday right after camp. And then high school, we'll be going over to the Woods house for a pool party. The week after that, high school can go do whatever they want. And then mid-school, we will be going over to the Woods house for a pool party. There's just too many of us to all be there at the same time because, if we put all of these people in the pool, is there enough? Could we all fit? Just kind of stand there waiting around. So that's why we're doing it that way. And then The week after that, we'll all be at Blue Springs 8. And the entire service will be at Blue Springs 8. So make sure you guys know what's going on during the summertime. If you don't know, there are cards laying right out there on the front table by the stairs, so you can grab one of those or just take a screenshot of this. I do need to make sure everybody's clear. Sorry, I hate to do so many camp announcements if you're not going to camp. But I want to make sure everybody, if you're going to camp and you didn't pay attention last Wednesday, I'll announce this one more time. There are 2 different nighttime activities going on during camp. One of them is called Not So Silent Night. And it is I'm just going to read it because this is right off the website. It's a party led by an MC using silent disco headphones. It's their way of saying dance party without saying dance party in it. And there's going to be contests, activities, music, all this stuff going on. And they tell you, like, bring some clothes you can dress up in, like, old school dancing. Like, just ask your parents, like, what did you wear when you went to a school dance? So whatever old, like, school stuff you want to do there, they say, like, bring a thrift store prom dress or whatever, old. If your dad has, like, a leather jacket, just wear that. Whatever you got. I don't know why. It says thrift store prom dress, leather jacket, or a pirate shirt. There is literally no real direction to any of this. It's kind of like just be funny, whatever. And then there's a thing called a mega relay, and it's just space themed. So don't think too hard about that. If you have any t-shirts or shirts or clothes or anything that have any sort of outer space theme on it, wear it, whatever. It's fine. So that's all of that. That's if you're going to camp. Those are your 2 things. So anywhere from, dress to a pirate shirt, whatever. It's going to be fun. So that's all of that stuff. We will start back up Focus after camp. So stay home tonight, pack, get all your gear together, and get ready for a great time for that. I believe that is all of our announcements. A little bit better. Yes, Will?
My friend keeps. Cheer up, man. It could be worse. You could be stuck underground in a hole full of water. I know he means well.
I know. I don't know if we caught any of that. I'm up here laughing because I just see Shane and Will barking at each other back there. Turn me up. It is up. It's loud. And then he just raced through it. Well, we need to improve on that. Our 6th graders are not impressed yet because it's been 2 weeks of just being off on this. We'll get better. We're going to work on it at camp. One of our tracks is going to be Puns with Will track, and we'll just spend a whole week working on these things. Hey, we have our new team competition because last week, who won the final month? Was it senior guys? Senior guys won. So, you guys actually are no longer a part of team competition. Are you? Oh, no, wait. No, I take that back. So you'll be helping out the new senior guys too, just not to confuse it. And senior girls will be helping out the new senior girls. Does that works? Okay. We'll just do that. So for the month of June, senior guys will be real seniors and old seniors. And we'll just do it. And everybody else will be your normal grade. So we're going to play a little game here. If you think, go ahead and pop up that because I forget how to describe this game and how we're going to do it. It's called Weird Words. We're going to give out a word. You have to guess. Oh, I remember how I'm going to do this. You're going to have to guess what you think the definition is. So it's going to give you a word and then 3 definitions. You're going to hold up 1, 2, or 3. So everybody's going to stand up here in a second. You're going to hold up 1, 2, or 3, whatever definition. If you get it wrong, you sit down. Whoever is the last team remaining will get 50 million points. We're starting out big here, okay? So everybody stand up with me. Can we get that on this too, or no? Can I get those slides? If not, it's no big deal. All right. We're going to read off our first word. You got to tell me what you think the definition is. Thank you. All right, slide. Word number 1 is A bear. Does it mean to carry, to endure, or to behold? 1, 2, or 3. Raise them up high. And I don't want to see any of this cheating, all right? I don't want to see this, but like I held up a 2. It was a 2. Oh, it was a 3. I want very clear, high up. Here we go. All right. A bear, to carry, to endure, to behold, and Will, it is to endure. Only if you are holding up number 2, stay standing. Everybody else, sit down. All right. Next one. Next word is oxter. Is it an armpit, a harness, or a male ox? I really hope it's a male ox. That'd be pretty sweet. What's up, oxter? All right. Hold them up high. 1, 2, or 3. We got them up. All right. Will, what is it? And the oxter is. Oh, that leveled it out right there. When you're at camp, mid-school, make sure you remember to use plenty of that the Axe body spray on your oxters. How about that? All right, here we go. Boys, the senior guys just took a huge lead. All right. A fartlek. Is a fartlek a 70s slang for pop stars, an unexpected twist, or endurance training for runners? Stephanie is a fartlek. Is that what's going on here? All right, here we go. 1, 2, or 3. Hold them up high. Hold them up high. What do we think it is? And go for it, Will. It is number 3. All right, all right. Some of you knew that. How did you guys, did everybody get that right? Is that like a common word that I'm not aware of? Everybody knows what a fartlek is, Rob. All right, next one. What do we got? A popple. Is a popple choppy seeds and unstable structure or rabbit droppings? Popples. Look at the little popples. Those rabbits leave little popples everywhere. All right, hold them up high. What do you got, Sheber? He's got 2. All right. What do we got, Will? What do we got? Choppy seas. Uh-oh. Ooh, senior girls. Old senior guys. No, Jay's 7th grade guys now. 8th grade, I mean. Jay's 8th grade guys. Yeah. 8th grade guys, old senior, new senior. Here we go, here we go. Jay still representing mid-school. Are any other leaders still in? Is that it? Is that it? Cooper! Everybody! Let's go! Cooper, congratulations, man. Cooper, we didn't get a chance to get everybody up there, but we told everybody down here what was happening upstairs. So we are ready for you. It's awesome. All right. Where are we here? Every win. Wait, what? Who said number 1? Oh, everybody. All right, good job. Go to the next one. Oh, the old palaver. Is it a tool for cleaning his dog's teeth, the urge to eat spicy food, or an unproductive conversation? I really hope it's number 3 because I feel like half my life I'm just palavering everywhere I go. All right, we got 2, 3. Everybody said 3s? Oh, all right. What do we got here, Will? Is it? Yeah! Palaver. This meeting was a palaver. All right, here we go. Next one. What do we got? What do we got? A teasel. Is a teasel a shelf for teacups, a pricklier plant, or a British term for joking around? A teasel. What do we got? 1, 2, or 3? What? Uh-oh, we got 3, 2, 1. Cooper, if you'd like to play, you just showed up here, so you can hold up a number. You want 1, 2, or 3? What do you got, buddy? We'll put one 6th grade boy back in the mix here. I just need one of you. What are you at? You're going with 2? Okay, we're going with 2. All right, what is a teasel, Will? Oh! Hold on, my 6th grade guy said number 2 also, right? Yeah, all right, 6th grade guys and old seniors. All right, here we go. Spam, is it a spam sent via instant message, a pixelated web graphic, or a tiny featherless bird? What is spam? What is, you just look up here. What do you think it is? You're holding up 3. What do we think it is, 6th grade guy? He says 1, and it is spam, 6th grade guys, for the win right there. I'm pretty sure I said 60 million for 6th grade guys. 50 million points. 6th grade guys coming back for the win. All right. Good job. Way to go. We got a baptism and the win. I feel like a baptism should be an extra million points. At least 1 million points, right? All right. We start doing team competitions off of baptisms. Randall's like, Rob, you baptized 30 people. Like, that's right. Here we go. All right. Hey, guys, it's good morning. We're going to have a great, great time today. Do a little teaching, do some small groups, talk amongst yourselves with your groups. Hey, when you guys go to your small groups, remember, some of your groups are really big, and during summertime, some of our leaders are just like you all taking vacations, so sometimes you only have one leader. So make sure when you are in your small groups later on today, you're following along with your leaders, all right? I want everybody, I'm telling you this right now so my leaders don't have to. Phones put away, and you're focusing on the teaching, all right? Help out your leaders with that. So I don't want to see phones. In fact, right now, everybody can just put your phones up. Put them away. The scripture will be on the screens, and unless your leader says you can have your phone out for scripture, no more phones for this morning because they're super distracting. So do that for me right now. Put them up, put them away, and we're going to have a great, great morning. There you are.
There we go. There we go. Okay. All right. So I've got a cousin. His name is David. And so just because I want to make sure everybody heard that, my cousin's name is David. David, okay. David's my cousin. So last fall I went back to my hometown, and we were at a wedding. And one of my really good friends growing up, he said, so, hey, I haven't seen your cousin David in a long time. How's he doing? And so I told him, you know, where he was working and what he was doing with his life and everything. And his wife said, who's David? His wife didn't go to school with us. She said, who's David? And so my friend responded, well, David that would be the coolest 7th grader that ever lived. And so that's a pretty accurate summary of David, and I'm going to explain why I say that. David and I are almost exactly 1 year apart. David, when he was in 2nd grade, the teachers decided that he needed to go back and retry 1st grade again. So he went back to 1st grade, and that made me really excited because in 2nd grade, we were in the same class. So his second time in 2nd grade, my first time, we had the same teacher, Mrs. McDowell. And I was all excited about this because I thought that David and I were going to be best buds. And we were best buds because at home, we were best buds. At my house, at his house, at my grandparents' house, we were like best buddies. But when we got to school, things were a little bit different. See, at school, David thought that he was too cool for me. And you know, this is just how he was. So he would make fun of me, and generally he would just make me feel bad. So as we got older and we got into middle school, this all continued. David was like this coolest person that ever lived, and there was just no way for me to live up to that. And so while we would have fun at home, we weren't going to have fun at school. So just imagine if like the most athletic kid in your school, the best looking, the most confident, the class clown in your entire school. Imagine if that was all one person, because that's basically what David was. David would get in trouble a lot because of this, but I think even the teachers thought that he was pretty cool. And then one thing was very clear, the girls definitely thought that David was really cool. He spent a lot of time at our house, and so he would give my phone number to girls so that they could call him when he was at my house. This happened pretty regularly, so I just want to reiterate, girls were calling my house, but they were not calling to talk to me, they were calling to talk to David. There was actually one instance where a girl called the house, and she assumed that it was David's house because that was the number that David had given. And my mom answered the phone, and she assumed this must be David's mom. And she's like, no, I'm Robbie's mom. And she's like, well, can I talk to him? And so this girl wanted to talk to me because I guess she just assumed, well, David's not there. I might as well talk to David's cousin. I mean, that would be kind of cool. That didn't work out for her at all. But on more than one occasion, David would dump a girl, and then all of a sudden that girl would be interested in me. And it was never because they were interested in me. It was always because I don't know if they wanted to make David jealous or whatever it was. There was these ulterior motives that never had anything to do with me, why girls would be interested in David's cousin. Because David was basically like if Will Smith went to your school, that was David. So I always would try to do dumb things to get David's approval. This was something that continued for a long time. Unfortunately, I would do things like be mean to other people or put other people down because, that kind of makes you feel a little bit better or whatever, and that's kind of what David would do, so I would go along with that. We would do some dumb things that I would never do on my own. David liked to always push the limits and shoot fireworks out of his hands and stuff, and so I thought I'll do that too, and thankfully he was the one that ended up in the ER, not me, but, those things would happen. Because he was a class clown, he was always trying to irritate people, and that would include adults, and so that would include people in our family. So we would shoot bottle rockets at people, and just general things that I definitely never would have done on my own. We would be disrespectful to parents and grandparents just to get a laugh, and that wasn't me. I would watch movies with him that I knew my parents would approve of. We did this really stupid thing. This was probably the dumbest thing we ever did. We would watch wrestling on TV, WWF. And why anybody would waste their time watching WWF is beyond me, but we would do that. We would watch WWF, and then we would try to beat each other up in the living room and get in all kinds of trouble. But anyway, just stuff that I wouldn't normally do. And then I always, to get his approval, I wanted to wear Nike clothes and Adidas clothes because that's what he was into. It wasn't until 8th grade, David lied to me, and the lie was such a lie that I decided, all right, I don't need this guy's approval anymore. And what it was is I was playing football. We're at my grandparents' house, or not my grandparents' house, my grandparents' store, and it was during football season. And I was all excited because I'd had a game where I had a couple of good kick returns, and the coach started me on offense and defense, and I was all excited to tell him, and I thought, this is going to get David's approval because David is he's going to see, oh, well, he's doing good at sports, which David was amazing at sports. He played soccer, so he wasn't playing football because it was the same season. And he was like, oh, yeah, well, I already talked to Coach Gross, who's the varsity football coach. He's like, I already talked to Coach Gross. He's like, yeah, don't play soccer anymore. Don't play football this year. I don't want you to get hurt because you're going to be the star quarterback. I already gave you your football pads and helmet, and you're going to be the starting varsity quarterback next year as a freshman. And I was like, even then, I was like, okay, that's a little ridiculous. And so from there on, I no longer tried to seek his approval because it was I realized it didn't matter anymore what I did. He was always going to be worried about making sure he was above me. And so, David wasn't on the football team, and pretty soon after that, David wasn't even in school anymore. And so this is why my friend referred to David as the coolest 7th grader that ever lived. He was, and it kind of peaked at that point. But, it wasn't all David's fault. David basically grew up without a father. my dad and my grandfather were basically the closest thing that he had. But the blame on me trying to get his approval is entirely on me. I tried to seek the approval of David and other people, and because of that, I put a lot of stress on myself, and it's because I put them up on this pedestal of something that I wanted to be or people that I wanted to get their approval of. Frankly, I was probably pretty annoying through those times. As I read the scripture here in Galatians, I want you guys to think about whose approval I was not seeking versus whose approval I was. So in Galatians chapter 1, this is a letter that Paul is writing to the church at Galatia, and basically there's some people that have basically doing some false teaching is what's going on here, and Paul is discussing that. But I want you to pay attention to what he says and think while I'm reading this, whose approval was I seeking and whose approval was I not seeking while I was following David. I'm astonished that you are so quickly deserting him who called you in the grace of Christ and are turning to a different gospel. Actually, yeah, we'll read it up here. Go back to verses 6 and 7. Oh, you don't have that? Okay. I'm astonished that you were so quickly deserting him who you called in the grace of Christ and are turning to a different gospel. Not that there is another one, but there are some who trouble you and want to distort the gospel of Christ. So basically, I told you guys the gospel, which is the correct gospel. There's not another gospel. Anyone who's telling you any different is distorting the truth. And then he goes in verse 10, he says, obviously, I'm not trying to win the approval of people, but of God. If pleasing people were my goal, I would not be Christ's servant. In other words, I'm not trying. If I wanted to make you happy, then I could change the gospel to be what you wanted to hear. But I'm not doing that because I'm not seeking your approval. I'm seeking God's approval. That's what Paul is saying here. What this allows us to do is to make sure that we focus our approval on getting God's priority. We focus our priority on getting God's approval versus getting the approval of others and of people. If we do focus on the approval of God, then we're going to quickly recognize others who are doing the same thing, and we can build strong, amazing, lasting relationships with those people. Now we have bonds with those people that are much more stronger than having the same hobbies, liking the same teams, watching the same shows, playing the same video games, doing the same after-school activities, whatever it is, wearing the same brand of clothes. Those superficial things that maybe we are doing to try to get the approval of others that they're never going to give us, they don't mean nearly as much as having this, of recognizing others that are seeking God's approval in their life just like you, and recognizing how important that is and significant that is. I just want to make sure, I'm not telling you that becoming interested in like a new hobby because someone introduces you to it or something different, that there's nothing wrong with that. That's not what I'm saying at all. But make sure that your reason for the interest is not to seek their approval, but because you're actually interested in it. And also make sure that it's something that God would approve of. So guys, I'm just going to pray for you guys. We're getting ready to go to small groups. I want you to just focus on seeking God's approval alone and not seeking the approval of others, because it's always going to just leave us feeling empty. So God, just thank you so much for bringing us here today, for giving us some good summer weather this week, finally. And please just bless these kids as they seek you, as in these groups, as we seek you and seek your approval, and not allow the pressures and the stresses of the world and trying to seek the approval of men to drag us down. Be with us in all we do. In your name, amen.